Thousands of tax dollars poured into a school program, but was it for the kids or for a school leader's relationship? When school board members saw what Amanda St. Hilaire uncovered, they called the police.
I would just like to say, you guys are accountable to us.
You're hurting the kids.
We will not comply.
Rocky relationships.
After all of that, you let it get to this.
Get all the attention.
You're evil and you will pay for this.
So it's easy to miss when a different kind of relationship
questions of nepotism
creeps into government decisions.
This misstep, mistake, shortcut stuff has got to stop.
I think families are wondering how they can be confident they're getting the best decisions for their students and not the best decision for one employee's wallet.
Meet retired Wauwatosa School Board member Mary Jo Randall.
I'm not going to repeat all of the questions and points that I've shared with the board in my emails.
For months, she's questioned the school district's relationship.
It's kind of disheartening that I didn't hear from you guys.
With one particular program.
The power of Avid.
The future of Avid.
We are Avid.
Avid, Advancement via Individual Determination, is a college and career readiness program.
Without Avid, I don't think I would be enrolled in 3 high school honors classes for next year.
But Mary Jo has questions.
To me, you're not getting the struggling students.
And she's not the only one.
These programs never bring the success or the achievements that are desired.
And that's important because Avid isn't cheap.
Can't those things be done sort of DIY outside of Avid for a much lower price tag?
Avid is in school districts all over Wisconsin. Wauwatosa stands out.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Rapidly voting to expand the program to a more than $170,000 contract with little data or public discussion. In fact, the at-the-time superintendent signed the contract before the board even voted.
Yes, and that passes.
Violating district policy by not getting quotes from competing programs.
We did not follow all of our procedures.
Only for the new superintendent to press pause.
It was too ambitious.
So what started this fast-track relationship with Avid, and how'd it go off the rails?
I would have to turn it over to Mrs. Bowers to answer that question.
Kristen Bowers is a Wauwatosa assistant superintendent.
Kristen is very enthusiastic about Avid.
We found that enthusiasm in more than 500 pages of public record emails. Kristen Bowers championed Avid for years, arranging meetings, pushing events, sending staff promotional materials.
Education is more important now than ever.
In 2018, her department signed a $9,000 Avid contract.
Looking at our Avid course.
And brought it to the board.
Kind of groundbreaking game changers for our district.
No mention that Avid already was a game changer in Kristen Bowers' family.
I've been a part of the Avid family.
Brett Bowers was a Mequon-Thiensville principal and part-time Avid staff developer. He's also Kristen Bowers' husband. Avid paid Brett Bowers to train staff and talk up the program. And he did, to his wife. In 2015, he copies her on an email to an Avid program manager, writing, "My wife's school district is finally getting serious about Avid." She replies, "Man, you outed us." Yikes. Eventually, the Bowers recommend the school board approve district-wide Avid implementation. But the flame in this relationship doesn't die there. Wisconsin law prohibits conflict of interest. That's when public officials use their government positions to financially benefit themselves, immediate family, or their employers. Attorney Tony Renning says he generally tells school administrators to play it safe.
There may not be a conflict of interest per se under the law, but it might create the appearance of a conflict of interest. And because of that, there are concerns about, what that might do to the public's trust.
Bringing us to the Bowers 2017 spring break. The couple emails back and forth about using Avid money for their $3,900 hotel. Brett says he won't have the Avid checks by then. Kristen suggests using money from his consulting jobs. That week, Brett Bowers bills one of his clients, Wauwatosa School District. So tax dollars financially benefit the company sending the Bowers family checks and go directly to the Bowers Spring Break Fund. Fast forward to 2019. Avid gives Brett Bowers a full-time job. It's only then His wife asks if she should notify the board of her Avid connection. Superintendent Phil Ertl emails the board that lawyers call the relationship good to address, but not a conflict. But the actual legal opinion calls the Bowers relationship a potential conflict of interest and appearance of impropriety. It says Kristen Bowers should not be involved directly or indirectly in Avid decision-making. But instead of pulling back, emails,
hi, Kristen,
and voicemails.
I am the partner engagement manager from Avid.
Show Kristen Bowers' fingerprints stay on the steering wheel.
It sounds like you were interested in training your whole staff and that had some concerns about pricing.
She registers for Avid leadership training, touts her husband's work to staff, brings him in to train people.
I was aware of the relationship. I mean, you had to be.
In spring 2020, the district's equity team recommends expanding the program. Problem is,
I do not recall us ever talking about it.
4 equity team members say they don't know how expanding Avid became a recommendation. Turns out, the team reported,
we definitely intend to keep the district equity team going,
to Kristen Bowers. In spring 2020, Kristen gets a promotion. Now head of the department, overseeing the program her husband is paid to implement in Wauwatosa. Less than 6 months later, she's in meetings with Avid, reviewing pricing proposals, ending with her department pushing through that 3-year, $170,000 deal. No quotes from other programs, no public mention of her Avid relationship.
I did not feel pressure, implicitly or explicitly, to adopt Avid. I can't speak to other people, what they might have felt.
2 current and 2 former Wauwatosa employees who still work in education asked to stay anonymous to protect their jobs. One said Avid was, quote, completely and disingenuously oversold. We all knew about the relationship between Kristen and Brett, and it made things really uncomfortable. It seemed wrong, but nobody felt they could speak up. She really sold the program at every opportunity. Another said, who's going to tell their boss, hey, I have concerns about the program that signs your husband's paycheck? One employee said, quote, I've never known Kristen to do anything unethical, blaming the former superintendent for, quote, not following the right steps. Now the public can't trust the process. Brett and Kristen Bowers did not respond to interview requests. Neither did anyone from Avid or former superintendent Phil Ertl. The current superintendent wouldn't talk either. So we went to his bosses, the school board. When they wouldn't go on camera,
Hi, Amanda St. Hilaire, Fox 6.
We brought the camera to them. Board member Mike Phillips says he's working on new policies but won't elaborate.
I think families are wondering how they can be confident they're getting the best decisions for their students and not the best decision for one employee's wallet.
Of course.
Do you have anything to say about that?
That's what I have. Thanks.
Board President Steve Doman,
Can we catch you right after the meeting for a quick interview?
wasn't any more talkative.
You're the president of the board, you're the guy in charge. If you can't answer questions, who can?
It's not that I can't, it's that I don't trust you. It's an unfair story.
Why not?
Why would I?
How are we?
Have a relationship.
Apparently, relationships are important in Wauwatosa. Board members Sean Rowland and Mike Meyer eventually did talk.
We've had conversations about it, and I can't go too much into detail because we're still having discussions about it.
My vote yes in February without competitive bids was a mistake, of course. And now, we need to own that.
Neither one had seen the public records we'd uncovered.
Tell me more about that.
So we did. 2 days later, the district sent parents a message saying it failed to adhere to policies, pausing the Avid expansion. Mike Meyer and Sean Rowland emailed the board president saying the records FOX6 uncovered are concerning. At the next board meeting,
We are taking steps to fully investigate those allegations, and we are united in that decision.
so the key players are starting to ask the tough questions.
How does that sit with you?
After we did.
You've really done a good service with your journalism. Thank you.
Even so, Mary Jo says something's got to change.
Because this was pretty easy, however it happened.
After all, the key ingredient to any healthy relationship is trust. Amanda St. Hilaire, Fox 6 Investigators.
Amanda, thank you. Kristen Bowers is now on paid administrative leave while an outside firm investigates. The school board voluntarily made more records public and turned this case over to police. We're going to have all those details on our website. We'll also have a more in-depth look at what the Avid program actually does and why some districts are reconsidering. That's coming up Wednesday on Fox 6 News at 9. If you have a tip for the Fox 6 investigators, send them an email at fox6investigators@fox.com. So much more to come.